Hey all, and welcome back for another round of HFC Patreon TV comms. Today, we're heading back to Samurai Jack to check out a variety of episodes. Yes, our good old friend Robert Hollander has decided to pick some of his favourites instead of going in chronological order, even though we will be covering them in chronological order. In said order, we have Season 1, Episode 8, Jack vs. Mad Jack. We have Season 2, Episode 12, Jack and the Spartans. And then finally, we have Season 3, Episode 5, Jack and the Scarab, also known as Jack in Egypt by fans and whatnot. But we're going to start with Jack vs. Mad Jack. These are all great episodes, from what I recall.
I absolutely agree. Mad Jack, in particular, has a lot of memories for me as being, I think to my knowledge, like one of the most action-packed Jack episodes that I've seen, and it's just a really, really cool episode, so I'm looking forward to reliving this one especially.
Alright guys, everything you will need to sync our audio to your copies of the media, which obviously we can't provide due to copyright, can be found via the instructions in the video description. Have a look there if you get a bit confused. How we do these multi-episode videos, we'll count you down into the first one, and then when we say stop the video, stop it and load up the second, and then we'll count you down into that, and so on and so forth for the third one. Alright, Volk, you ready for Jack vs. Mad Jack?
Oh, I'm ready.
Here we go, in 3, 2, 1. Long ago in a distant land that won't sync up, samurai.
Well, it's worth a try. It's good to get back into some Jack again.
I was actually, the weather's kind of getting a bit cool now, so I was feeling a bit like nostalgic, because I always get like this around this point in the year when it gets closer to my birthday and whatnot in November. November 24th, if you want to celebrate the illustrious day of my birth. Where was I going with this point? Oh yeah, Samurai Jack is very nostalgic for me. End of statement, I guess.
So when you're cold, you're nostalgic.
I guess so, yeah, I was born on like a Thursday in November, so do the math.
Well, I think it's just because the drop in temperature makes you pursue warm feelings to counteract it.
Ah, very nicely put, Volk. Very nice.
Yes, my middle name is actually Sigmund Freud.
Wow, that's like a hyphenated middle name there. I don't know what we're going to do for these openings. Sometimes you just have to ad-lib.
We could just try and sing along really poorly. Jet.
Yeah, that's it. There's like 3 words in this entire song. And it's not watch out, it's watch out.
Yes, there we go. Now we finally get into the meat of the episode.
So I kind of forget what, like, the catalyst for Jack meeting Mad Jack was. I think there's a forest involved somewhere along the lines.
If I remember correctly, it's just a whole bunch of people trying to take Jack's bounty, and he just gets more and more irritated. And if I remember right, I think the actual, like, trigger was, I believe, one of the straps of his sandals broke off. Or something along those lines. I
may be thinking of a different episode. Let me just actually check the descriptions and whatnot here. Let's see. Nope, that's Jack in Space. Let's see. Yep, this is the exact one I was thinking of. Don't ever play this game, by the way. You only have a limited amount of fingers.
It's not the finger I'm worried about, it's the entire hand. I mean, there's not much space in between each individual finger, but that is a meaty as fuck hand.
You ever been to bars like this before, Volk, where you just punch out people before you get a drink?
Thankfully, no. I don't tend to visit pubs all that often, and thankfully I live toward the south of England, which tends to be, well, they get a little bit rowdy in some pubs in the Devon and Cornwall area, but I don't think it's nearly as barroom brawl levels.
This sounds very similar to a piece of music used in Austin Powers. I wonder if they had to pay for that.
Yeah.
He's here, the samurai.
That's not the right episode either.
Not the samurai, I mean a samurai with a bit of a stank on the name.
Perhaps one wielding a magic sword?
Step forth to oppose me, if you will. Just the use of, like, maybe not silence, but just, like, lack of dialogue in Samurai Jack is what always stuck with me.
I think this is the point as well where he was starting to build up his reputation a bit, so I'm guessing people are just watching him. Just like, alright, if he orders water, we all go after him.
I'm actually drinking tea right now. It's all good. He could not be more out of place. This is a juxtaposition, which is one of my favourite words and terms.
Very good, very good.
I'm not going to explain it to you. I ain't fucking Google.
No, that's fine. I know what you mean. They all seem very interested in his tea ceremony.
I think it's just warm water. We weren't talking over it, remember?
Oh no, he's offended him greatly. How dare you drink water in this establishment?
Oh, I've seen that pic of him, like, staring disdainfully at the fish far too often on forums and shit.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
That's my tea, you fishy fuck! What is a googolplex? That's an actual word. I need to look this up.
A googolplex is a number of obscenely high value. I think it's like 1 million to like the power of 100 or something like that.
Google, a very large number, a 1 followed by 100 zeros. Googolplex, the world's second largest number with a name, a 1 followed by a Google of zeros.
Yeah, that's insane. That's a lot of money. I don't think any individual needs that much money.
How will Jack deal with all these action lines? Well, the way he knows how, and they were all robots, don't worry about it.
Or were they? They're not exploding. Merely flesh wounds.
Hat goes on, Jack leaves the establishment.
Business as usual.
I guess since he is building up his reputation, he just kind of has to move on when he's been fingered and whatnot.
It's Scrappy-Doo if he was a Wookiee. I love if he just said no. He's just like, oh, well, I'll be on my way then.
No, I am Samurai Jim. The dramatic pull-out always gets me on this show.
He looked a lot smaller in the distance.
Do I have to explain the Father Ted principle to you again, Volk?
No, you don't. It just he seemed like he was going to be tiny, but he's actually the same size.
Ooh, they took his hat! That was my father's hat! That I had made into a copy of my father's hat!
They don't just sell bootlegs like this anymore.
Shave him, Jack! Shave him for the disrespect!
Can't we just nod and say we did? I don't want to see him naked.
Oh, he's got Ultra Instinct!
Look at me, I am a hummingbird.
Whee!
That was very anticlimactic.
Alright, on to the next event. But first I must glower at you.
I will show you my disapproval by taunting you whilst you cannot hear me. The most ancient of shit-talking techniques.
I was wondering when we were going to get to these guys. They're always in the intro.
Your mum!
Very classy, Vogue.
You know what? I would be with Jack. I would be highly annoyed at this guy too. I'm just like, dude, just get to the point.
Now she's a Starfinger here. Don't think Jack's out of luck just because you've robbed him of his sword. You know, it didn't stop him in the first, 4 or so episodes of Season 5, and he has been training, martial arts and whatnot.
Indeed. The sword may be the most powerful weapon at his disposal, but the man makes the weapon, as we all know. If that was Season 5, Jack, I would not be surprised if he tried to kick him into stones or something.
Oh, yeah.
Season 5 Jack was not adverse to such dirty tactics at that point.
Well, at that point, he was, severely fucked up with PTSD.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Alright, that one was definitely a robot.
Well, of course, he was cybernetic at the very least. I love, the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 5. The rest is not bad, but the finale is very divisive. I liked it, don't get me wrong, I think it could have been done better.
Yeah, in some respects I do agree with you there, but I think overall it was still a very, very strong return to form.
It was an entertaining watch, and in the end, that's all that really matters. Oh, a hat for a hat, as they say.
You know, this bear could easily pass off as a minor Powerpuff Girls villain.
Or like something out of Yogi Bear, yeah, that's probably the point.
He could be like one of Fuzzy Lumpkin's minions or something.
But don't forget, it wasn't Kennedy who made Powerpuff Girls, it was Craig McCracken. I'm not making that mistake a 5th time.
No, definitely not. We have to learn at some point. It doesn't have to be fast, just eventually.
Just like Jack, we all learn eventually. Wait for it.
I love how that was the final straw. Oh my god, he almost hit me with that attack. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, look at this cute little pachyderm. That's elephant. Oh no, he just exploded.
Like a trash bag that's been filled far too much.
Oh, I think the tipping point is coming. Oh, it's happened!
Calm down, Jack. You're not you when you haven't had a Snickers.
I'm loving this shit!
Alright, maybe he isn't quite loving it, but maybe deep down inside like, oh, I'm triggering him so hard. Uh-oh. He's got an idea.
An awful idea. A terrible, memeing, stinky idea.
Very good.
I love just laughing like Aku, especially when I make a bad pun and irritate everyone around me.
I prefer the more subtle laugh, unless it's just something that utterly destroys me.
He's still killing. Welcome back to Jack Kills Everyone.
Little do we know that he's been, like, spending the past 30 minutes just continuously cutting down this centipede.
Classic.
Oh, I got chills the first time I heard that. It's just, the usually calm samurai just suddenly just goes all out and loses himself to the brawl. Alright, is this the part where the shoe falls off?
Oh no.
Called it!
Really? This shit again?
Fucking shoe!
Again, every day this shit!
It's like, God, I hate myself!
God, I hate this shoe in particular. Oh, the way they set this up is really cool, actually. Evil will take the form of good to do evil in Good's place.
Or man will take the form of man. Arrogant, angry, malicious.
But well-groomed, shoes tied properly.
I bet he's feeling a bit stupid now. It's just like, wait, I just had to tie it back up again.
Would this have happened to me if I tied my shoe back up? You could be running away while this happens, Jack. I'm just throwing it out there.
This is actually a good point that's brought up in a lot of anime and a lot of TV shows as well, where they do like the whole transformation powering up thing. It's like, why can't you just hit him? And there was actually a scene in Yu Yu Hakusho where the main character Yusuke was fighting against younger Toguro, and he was doing his whole transformation sequence. So and it becomes a blend of part fear and part just curiosity and just seeing what they actually have to offer.
Yeah, human curiosity, essentially.
Playing into the warrior's spirit. That seems to be the most likely and convenient excuse. I'm you, dumbass!
They actually kind of followed up on this in Season 5, when Jack had, like, a mad version of himself, like, taunting him all the time.
Yeah. Sort of like the angel-devil scenario, but with him it's just like a devil filled with anger, sorrow, depression. And you sort of get a mixture of the three occasionally, but sometimes you see the individual parts of that persona.
Even a copy of the magic sword, when it shouldn't be possible, haha!
Yeah, and that kind of bothered me. Like, couldn't he have just taken that sword as well and like, started dual-wielding those bitches? Or, like, maybe, like, he kept it hidden, and then at the end of Season 5, he loses his sword, he's just like, well, good thing I got this spare.
He's teaching Jack a good lesson here. The anger may make you powerful, but it doesn't make you skillful.
I know, he's keeping him on his toes.
No blood, this is Cartoon Network.
Yeah, if it were Adult Swim, there would be blood right here. Like, no question about it. This is why I'm kind of, like, why I'd be really curious to see, like, if Adult Swim had been there since the beginning, like, just how much would things have really changed in terms of these fight scenes and whatnot?
I think I kind of prefer it like this, to be honest.
It's a little bit more clever and outside the norm, perhaps?
Yeah, that also I grew up with it, so obviously I'm nostalgia blinded here, but I think it just makes it more charming when it's like machines instead of like actual flesh and blood, and it makes Season 5 pop all the more.
Yeah, I guess you're definitely right there, when you put it that way. Alright, are we gonna get the, true Jack hair proof in a second?
Oh, we better.
Come on, give us the good shit.
I love rival fights.
I don't know about you, I fucking hate mirror matches.
Oh my god, there it is.
It's like, not quite Super Saiyan, like the hairstyle changes, but that's about it.
Actually, I sometimes confuse this episode with the one where he's like fighting a shadow, like a literal shadow monster.
I do vaguely remember that one. I don't know what episode it is, though.
I ain't looking it up. We weren't commissioned to do it.
But one thing I always found quite amusing, like, there's a very similar episode, which is the one where Jack duels with Aku in human form, and they have this similar situation where he's just mercilessly barraged by bounty hunters, but rather than sheer anger, he just looks bored by the whole affair, so it shows some real character growth by putting him in a similar situation much later down the line. I'm just reminded of that meme where they play the same video like 1,000,000 times on like the same screen.
Oh, jeez. We're the same, you and I. No, I'm you, but madder. We could do this all day, Mad Jack. Or we could just go home and drink tea. Your call.
Tea! Tea is for sissies.
I drink coffee. Coffee is the only drink for me.
It's beer o'clock, don't you know?
That's it, just let it out.
Ah! Yelling, the cartoon show.
I'm dead. That actually went through the screen and killed me.
I think I'm bleeding a bit here. Might need to put a bandage on it.
Well, if you were hoping to protect this forest, I think you're SOL right now.
This like reminds me of so many early Dragon Ball episodes where you have like the blaster just slowly disintegrate the land around them.
Oh my god, I'm fighting me! This is my rage! And then God talked to him from a burning tree, I guess? Oh, it's a metaphor. I get it, it's a metaphor for anger.
Exactly. And you must find the mental fire extinguisher within your heart and put out the flames within your soul. Or maybe use a fire blanket.
Is it gonna jump scare me?
It's gonna keep zooming in. We're gonna like see like the individual like patterns in the bark of the tree, and then like it'll get into the molecules, and then it'll pan out to like the universe, and then slowly zoom back into the Earth.
Oh, fast forward button on this comm? Jeez. There you go. Evil levels are down.
Ah, the calming waterfall.
Oh, I see.
That's it. Wash the evil away. Wash away the anger.
Now I'm just thinking of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Let your hate flow like water, and eventually ebb into the sea.
Out the penis of forgiveness, into the toilet of redemption.
Dude, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm kind of done with this now. I think Melee's a bit old hat. I'm moving on to Ultimate.
It's like, I am done fighting you. You are merely scrub tier. I've checked your 4 glory score while I was doing this fight, and I have to say, I'm not impressed. I would be wasting my time fighting you further.
The anger kept his head aloft, much like Gohan, Super Saiyan 2. I think, actually, part 2 of episode 60 of Dragon Ball Z Abridged airs today.
Ooh. Gotta make sure I get in for that.
When we're recording, anyway. And use a bitch.
It's just like, you are a spoon, and I have now realized the truth.
I'm mad!
Look, I said no. He was very lucky there. If he had waited just a little bit longer, he would have had a sword through the face.
So this is what Homeworld thinks of fusion. Even kind of had like Malachi-esque hair there. Ooh.
Alright, you're gonna pick up your sandal, have a Snickers bar, at long last.
So ends another adventure of Wacky Jack the Samurai.
He just comes in with a clown outfit at one point. Hey, I'm Wacky Jack the Samurai!
Hey, yeah.
You gotta help me find Aku and give him a cream pie to the face.
Ew.
We're a family show here. Well, Tom doesn't seem to think so.
Well, maybe just fucking take a nap next time.
When in doubt, nap it out.
Watch out. That's the end of the episode, guys, so let's close that down and load up Jack and the Spartans while Volk and I give our opinions on Jack versus Mad Jack. What do you think, mate?
It is, as I said, a very, very good episode. Lots of action. A good segue into how Samurai Jack's character evolves as he becomes more disciplined and perhaps more jaded to the whole situation that he's in. It doesn't consume him as much anymore in the later seasons.
Yeah.
Until, obviously, what happened in Season 5, but that's for an entirely different reason. But it's kind of your first glimpse into the frustration within Jack, and it kind of peeks its head out every now and again as the seasons go on.
For sure, for sure. Alright, we have the next episode loaded, Season 2, Episode 12, Jack and the Spartans. Are you ready, Volk?
I am ready.
Here we go, in 3, 2, 1.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember much about this episode, but if I recall correctly, this is one of your favorites, if I recall.
I would say it's up there. I would say, like, maybe top 10. Let's see. The episode is based on the Battle of Thermopylae. So, huge, huge allusions to 300 here. And just, well, the Battle of Thermopylae in general, I guess. But this episode came out 5 years before 300.
I get the feeling, though, unlike 300, maybe this will have a slightly better ending.
Well,
a gooder ending, should I say.
Good is not a word.
I don't care, I'm using it.
Ah, the goodest ending. What a goodest boy he is. So, any missed episodes you want to address just while the titles are ongoing?
Well, like I said, I mentioned briefly the episode where Jack and Aku have their duel as being another one of my favorites. It's not nearly as action-packed, but it's one of those episodes that stand out for me. As far as humorous episodes go, I'm still thinking back to that episode with the creature that looks like Totoro. I believe I may have mentioned this during the last batch of Jack episodes, but that episode always tickles me to this day, right down to the Ed, and Eddie sound effects they occasionally use.
Ah, beautiful. This is a very, very stylish episode. Like, the last one was actually kind of minimalistic in, like, it mostly took place in a forest, you know, and not all the trees were always, like, properly filled in and whatnot, just to give it that minimalistic feel. This is very detailed as an episode, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, they tend to break down into, you got your action-packed ones, and then you got your ones which are just more about the style and the visuals. And in this case, we even have something of a narrator as well to tell the story from the outside in. It's like, man, I wish bungee rope was invented.
It's thousands of years in the future. Why can't I have bungee rope? Ah, alas, it is 10 billion Googleplex.
Yeah, suddenly that two Googleplex bounty doesn't seem as hot anymore.
No,
if you can't even buy, like, a 50th of a bungee rope with that, you know, what's the point?
I don't think a lot of cartoons nowadays could get away with Samurai Jack's pacing, at least on modern Cartoon Network, because Jack's barely said a word so far, and it's mostly just quiet solitude, just him climbing.
Yeah, it only seems to be a thing that occurs around this era where you have, like, a lot of cartoons and anime, and I guess just TV in general, where they try and slow down the pacing subtly enough just to sort of keep things going and to keep the audience engaged, whereas nowadays, like, especially with stuff like Hero Academy and I guess in a way Dragon Ball Super, a lot of it isn't nearly as drawn out anymore. Like,
No.
If you put Super in the same sort of era as Dragon Ball Z, you could wager that that Universe Tournament arc would have been like 200 episodes long.
Well, maybe not that long, but definitely longer, yeah. War. It never ends.
It never changes.
Great music in this episode as well, I gotta say.
I'm getting Sid Meier's Civilization vibes from this. It's great.
That was announced for Switch today, I believe, Civ 6.
Ooh. I'm actually amazed that they're starting to get 4X games on the consoles now, because Stellaris, which is another 4X game I'm quite fond of, is also getting a console release on the PS4.
There you go.
They're being more brave by bringing certain PC titles over to the consoles, it seems.
Now, don't ask me why there are spawns in this day and age in the Samurai Jack universe, but it makes for a great juxtaposition of cultures, so I guess that's why, again, he decided to go with it. And as you can see, they are using, like, advanced, you know, weapons and whatnot with Spartan-like tactics.
I have a theory where they sort of found, like, some old teachings of Spartan, or Sparta, I suppose, and they just thought, hey, we should model ourselves around that and sort of try and bring back the Spartan Empire. Like, maybe someone was just super inspired by it.
I haven't watched this in a long time, but I have a feeling you may be correct if we get the lore for it. I'm not really on your side, I just really hate robots.
Between robots and fleshies, I'd rather take the fleshies. Robots can just go suck a dick. They certainly love stabbing the robots in the face in this episode, I've noticed. And unlike real cattle, you can't cook these, so they are entirely useless.
Yeah, get away. Why would someone make a robot that can feel pain?
We have survived.
Alright, let's go check on Leonidas then, if it is Leonidas in this version of events. Like, just the amount of NPCs, for lack of a better term, in this is staggering compared to Jack vs. Magic. A lot more somber as well.
Oh, wait, him. I thought they were like saying, hey, you remind me of someone. Oh, that is some good cape right there.
Oh yeah, we love a good cape here at HFC. Alright, which way is this gonna go? He may be grateful, he might not be.
I feel like there's a lot... I think they're very much comrades in this.
He's proud of his men. But you must rest now, my son. You can die another day. Hooray, another day!
It's just like, you can't die yet. We're still waiting for Season 6 of The Shield.
You're strange, but you have a sword. I like you.
I like battering robots. It's the only thing that's keeping me entertained.
I just hate them, really. I don't know if we've got his name yet. Let me just scroll down and see. Let's see. Jack and the troops meet the Spartan general and king, possibly a play to Leonidas. Oh, I don't think his name has been given yet. Or, let's see, voices Phil Lamar as Samurai Jack, Brian George as Brotok, Danny Mann as Kurtok/Soldier, and Darren Norris as Spartok.
Might be Spartok then, speaking right now?
Getting that sweet, luscious lore that I crave, Rogue.
Hell yeah, agriculture!
So, Aku made them fly. Ain't that about a bitch?
It's like, god damn it, we had no idea that jet propulsion technology was mass-produced. How were we to know? I kinda like that their spears have, like, rocket-launching tips on them. I think that's kinda neat. It's very subtle as well, sort of like the advancements. They still look like they were from those ancient times, yet those little adjustments bring them into the modern era without interfering with the overall style and theme.
Just look at the fucking use of colour here, like the reds and yellows against the black.
It pops so much and I love it.
Ooh, that's a new strategy on me, but, oh, there's the infamous cliff.
Kind of reminds me of a Necron in Warhammer, where they just keep getting back up after you've completely dismantled them. They're annoying little fucks, to say the least. They just don't die! Aku's probably thinking, good thing I made these things waterproof.
Well, it's nice that the king fought at the front of his army, like a true Spartan.
Well, I think kings around that era were more accustomed to being on the front lines, not just from a morale standpoint, but also just to prove why they are king. Have you considered surrender?
Running away? Being a coward? Have you tried not being a Spartan? Okay, gotta end the war today, eh?
I like how it's only when Jack comes into the picture that they go, yeah, I'm getting a bit bored of this, let's just end this.
There you go.
I love how he's just like, now just stand here for a moment, I need to look majestic as fuck.
Only once every 1,000 years does a breeze this sublime pass and blow my cape.
It is the stuff of legend.
Don't forget the rope, and the helmet, and the sword. Very important, we can't forget the swords again, Jerome.
And we must go sleeveless. We must show our biceps. They are our most intimidating weapon.
Of course.
It's like, look, there's only 50 of them, but sir, they're ripped as fuck.
They may have swords, but they also have guns. I think we're downplaying the gravitas of the episode a little bit, but this is probably one of the least silly Samurai Jack episodes. Like, there's very little levity here.
Indeed, it's meant to be taken somewhat seriously. I mean, obviously you have to suspend your imagination with all the robots.
Disbelief, Volk! You never suspend your imagination.
Alright, disbelief then. Yeah, you are correct. I am sorry.
Well, that's what I'm here for, I suppose. You beat sense into me, I talk sense into you.
You give me words that are correct, as opposed to words that are incorrect.
And you give me time that I do not deserve. Hell yeah. Shit's about to get lit.
And again, music's just absolutely incredible.
It's a masterpiece. Helmets on, lads. You can't let them see your beards.
They'll get jealous, don't you know? I'm not sure if the trumpets are a good idea. Surely that would be giving away their position early.
Spartans are a very proud lot, I suppose. Just to put things into perspective, since we are talking over this, obviously, the Spartans and the robots have always been fighting to a draw for 5 generations. And, it's starting to wear the Spartans down. So, Jack states there was a pass in the mountains that a small platoon could go through and attack the monster's base of operations. So, the king devises that his son will stay with the army to defend the next attack, while he, Jack, and a phalanx of men attack the creature once and for all. There you go.
And I'm guessing the creature is either within that giant building, or is the building itself.
We'll never know, except when we do.
Yep, we still got another 10 minutes. That's plenty of time to figure out what exactly is happening here. Well, this is pretty neat because we're kind of getting a battle on 2 fronts at this point. At different times of day, it seems like, too. So, you got the darker side where, like, all the shit is going down, and then you got the usual pass where they are trying to defend the line.
There's something beautiful about the tragedy of war.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can't really put much in addition to that, but yeah. Very good point.
I don't mean in a way like I like seeing people die needlessly or anything, but just the self-sacrifice, it stirs the manliness within me, the 1% of my 99 effeminate being.
Well, I mean, it's the reason why films like Saving Private Ryan was so successful. I mean, war has somewhat of a beauty to it in a way. It's about camaraderie, it's about fighting for what you believe in, for freedom, or whatever else the plot might require at the time, but there is something to it.
What a way to describe war. Whatever the script demands.
Well, I mean, in terms of just movies and media. I'm not saying about it like war in real life, because that's a whole different can of worms. Imagine if it was just that scene on loop for like the rest of the episode.
Just the spears slowly coming down and firing off the tips. I mean, there is, like, a fair amount of reused animation. I think when people say Samurai Jack was a very well-choreographed show, they're, like, 75% right. Like, 75% of it is beautiful, but they do reuse a lot of, like, shots, if just to save money and whatnot, and, I don't know, the kids won't recognize it.
Yeah, I don't think they were too liberal with it either, so it was just subtle enough that it didn't really ruin the viewing experience, I would say. They used it just enough to sort of save and cut corners only when necessary.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes it was just so cool you just like seeing it again.
Oh yeah. Oh man, when you get an attack that happens 3 times, like it's the same attack just shown from 3 separate angles, fuck yes, like Goku sliding Kamehameha against Kefla.
Oh yeah, that was pretty damn good. Jack's probably thinking to himself, this is probably a bad time to tell them I'm claustrophobic.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, with all this, like, fighting prowess and whatnot, it's quite easy to see how, Kratos became the god of war in the first place.
Absolutely.
I don't think he actually gets a spear and a shield until, like, one of the PSP games.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really touch into that very often, as far as I'm aware. He wasn't one for traditional weapons, let's just say that.
This is more epic than some of the stuff that happened in Season 5. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, obviously when you have a fight of like this magnitude, and more to the point there's two separate fights happening at the same time, I mean, that's gotta say something. Oh, we're getting all Doom Glory kills in there now.
Dude, how fucking good does the turtle look?
Oh, it looks so nice. I am so looking forward to it.
Scrumptious, even. Alright, lads, keep wearing them down. There's only 10 million more to go.
I wonder who's keeping count. Who's got the bet back at base for, like, the rest of their rations?
There, I sense shenanigans. Don't forget, they only look like Spartans. They're not like a fish out of water like Jack is.
There, we have found the computer room. Now, how do we operate this thing?
Oh Jesus, there's a giant crocodile!
So what the fuck is that? Another one of Aku's minions!
Oh no, here comes another monster. To overcome the spider's curse, simply quote a Bible verse. One of these things is going to open up and swallow him. Just look for something oddly coloured that you know is going to open.
I'm also getting odd flashbacks to, like, the corridor scenes in Final Fantasy 15.
That was also announced for Switch recently, the Pocket HD edition, that is.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that'll actually go down. I'll keep an eye on it. I mean, I'm still trying to play through the Royal Edition. But of course, 2 Point Hospital is distracting me immensely.
Playthrough of that, eventually. 2 Point, no, FF15.
Yeah, that's a bit too long.
Yes, it's me. I'm just a uvula.
Doesn't that kind of remind you of the snakes that one tells in truths and the other tells in lies? Like, that face looks uncanny.
A little bit.
Just in robot spider form, obviously.
You can't hear this thing coming towards you? What, is it on stealth mode?
No, I think they're just selective of hearing. A bit like me from time to time.
Yeah, so...
Out of earshot, out of mind.
I hate you so much, Bolt. Goddamn. I love the switch to techno music now.
They're just playing a rhythm game at this point. Just like, hit the tentacles in time with the beat.
Shield, shield, sword, 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 shield. Tentacle. This Parappa sequel is not exactly what I had in mind.
Where's Kung Fu Onion when you need him?
Jesus.
No! Only had 2 down payments left on that sword.
Take the sword that only I can wield. Do it!
By the power of Grayskull! Wait, wrong show.
There you go. I will go 2 shield. You will go 1 sword.
Dual wielding shields is something I think more just people in general need to get on board with.
Yeah, it's not very used often, is it? Like, the only other one I can remember is the friggin' Bauble King in that one minigame section of Twilight Princess. Well, not a minigame. You have to escort the Zora child and Ilya, I think, to Kakariko Village, and he has 2 shields, so you have to basically shoot him.
But I mean, you just feel so much tankier with 2 shields. I don't understand why some people insist on just having the 1. If you got a mate with you, just take 2 shields, just block everything, and then let your friends sort out the rest of them.
Booyah! Get fucked.
I'm kind of hoping, like, the sword will just go completely through him, and then Jack will catch it on the other side, and chop him down. A bit like that end-ish scene from Devil May Cry 3 where Dante and Virgil are fighting the blood monster.
Yeah.
Now quick, throw a Pokeball at it!
It's weakened! Kablooey! I saved you more with my body there than the actual shield. Oh, okay, they all got sad and just exploded.
Yeah, it's like that odd moment where, like, the Death Star blows up and it's like, the Rebels won. It's just, but we have all these men and all these ships, but they blew up the Death Star.
Oh.
Well, his job was done at that point. Of course, they don't know that.
I forget, do they come back in, like, the final battle?
I don't actually remember, to be honest with you.
They will never forget the samurai. Samurai, samurai.
They left a shield behind to remember him by, and then he got those archers that literally just built a massive statue in his honor. Actually, do you want to know another episode that's very similar in style to this that's also really good? Do you remember that episode with, like, the lava golem? That was, like, part of Valhalla or something like that?
Yeah, that's one of my favourites.
That is an awesome episode for very much similar reasons to this one.
Closing down the video now. Well, that's not the episode we have to cover next, but hey, Robert, if you want some more, you know, with samurai fun, anyone else you can commission it too. Okay, I'm loading up Jack and the Scarab now. What did you think of Jack and the Spartans?
Definitely one of my favourites as far as the stylish episodes go. Obviously, the episode I mentioned prior was probably my absolute favourite, but just in terms of like a decent amount of action going on multiple fronts, I think this one ticks quite a lot of boxes.
It was a very poignant episode. I really, really enjoyed that. I actually can't remember what happens in Jack and the Scarab, but I guess we're going to get into it now, so if you're ready, Volk, let's finish this off.
I'm ready.
Here we go, in 3, 2, 1. I'm just assuming here, but I'm going to guess that we're going to Egypt at some point.
No, we're going to Kenya.
Wow.
To see the lions, obviously.
Throw me for a loop there.
No, Egypt was just like it's just a way through. We're really just there to see the lions.
Yeah, this episode is sometimes erroneously referred to as Jack in Egypt in fan circles. That's actually what the video was titled when we got it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why. I guess maybe just Egypt is easier to remember.
Yeah, I guess so. Ah, I'm getting dizzy!
Curse my epilepsy.
I'm spitting in my own puke here, Aku. Curse you!
It's a good thing he wasn't epileptic, otherwise when he dropped down that tube he'd just be like, kaplunk.
Then Aku's like revenge would have been really petty, and over too quickly, I think. Aku wanted him to suffer.
Hey, we remember that guy. We saw him about half an hour ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I have infinite breath underwater, what of it?
Oh, it reminds me of a dude from Bucky who could literally hold his breath for 5 minutes or something ridiculous like that. He must have learned from him.
Here comes the Bucky quotes and references again.
Oh, I know. I'm just very much enjoying the show. So when I see things that look vaguely similar, I mean, especially when it comes to like fighting and things like that, I mean, they have the whole martial arts thing down pat. So of course, if they show things like that, I'm going to draw the similarities at this point.
Ah, we've got a bit of a flashback here. Because obviously, we covered the first 3 episodes for Rob, which basically tell one story, and Jack did train in Egypt for a while.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess they're just saying, hey, remember that thing in the first episode where Jack went to Egypt and grew up there? Well, we're going back.
Hell yeah. I mean, just look at this style and whatnot. I love it. Egypt is probably one of my like favourite mythologies and whatnot.
You gotta love the statues of all the various animal gods. I'm not sure what I think too much about the pyramids. To me, they'll always just be stone triangles, but I can appreciate what they are. They just don't look nearly as magnificent as, like, the giant effigies and the statues of all, like, Set and Anubis, etc.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want a good version of Anubis? He was played by Tony J in Gargoyles.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that. If I recall correctly, that was very good.
It's an episode, it's in Season 2, I believe, when Goliath, Elisa, I always get that wrong, and like a couple of other characters are on like a world quest, and they go to Egypt where like I think some parts of the crew, like Jackal and so on, are trying to... let me wrap this up. Jackal becomes a Jackal guard and traps Tony J. Anubis, the end.
Ah, very, very good. Very good TLDR there.
Shut up, you.
And yes, you probably did notice that the animation was non-existent. The robe dudes were just sort of sliding across. Maybe they just cleaned the floors and they were just thinking, look, if you just give me a gentle push, I can slide all the way to the other side. And just everyone else joined in.
They'll never find me between the sacred toes.
My, what great toenails you have.
Uh-oh. I swear to God if there's actual scarabs in here.
Well, this is just what happens when you try and take shortcuts with the building material.
This must have been a confusing episode to watch as a child, because, like, you've been hanging out with adult Jack for so long, and then you just suddenly thrust back into the footsteps of young Jack.
True, although I suppose this is the only way that Jack will find out that he was destined to duel a coup at the top of the tower.
Horus, I think?
Yes, Horus is the bird god. Although, if I'm remembering this episode right, the Horus looks more like a penguin than, like, a hawk or anything like that. It's just a fucking Pingu in, like, Egyptian cosplay or something.
This is the only episode where young Jack actually speaks.
Really? I thought there was at least one or two, but...
No. Jonathan... Why am I pronouncing names weird? Jonathan Osser plays young Jack. Let's see, and that's about it. I often forget that Samurai Jack operates with a very limited cast. There's like 5 people in the voice acting credits.
Yeah, and I mean, usually they're mostly one-offs as well. I mean, except for a lucky few, like the Scotsman, who makes more than a few appearances. And maybe because they have multi-faceted voice actors that could do many different voices, so I'm assuming it's cheaper as well just to bring those guys back to do different voices. Zoinks!
You shouldn't be here. That's naughty.
It's like, don't you know, we just cleaned the floor, everybody's having a riot sliding across it.
The boys find Jack and come to see what he has found. Jack reads the Wall of Hieroglyphics. A long time ago, Set, the god of evil, came to Egypt and unleashed 3 of his minions on the land. Nothing could stop the minions, not even the Pharaoh's army, so the Pharaoh himself called the gods to imprison and seal them in the chamber forever. But if they were freed, the only salvation would be... And then they got cut off. I'm here. I'm a shadow. Ooh.
Spooky, spooky.
That's it, come a little closer.
And transition.
There you go. Evil robots, that's what we need. Oh, and now we're just back in the future. That's cool, actually, I really like that.
Yes, this pleases me immensely. This will make an excellent hot tub.
Ah, yes, my boner has never been bigger.
I'm fully convinced that he was about to throw those on top of half of his minions.
Well, they're robots, he can always make more.
I don't know, part of me thinks Aku has like a somewhat sadistic attachment to them. Like, maybe he doesn't destroy them outright, maybe he just sort of like removes a limb there, maybe pokes a hole there, you know, just to keep them on their toes.
One of the things I liked about Samurai Jack so much is that, this is dope by the way, they showed what happened to civilizations like way down the line. So you see them at the prime, and then you see them way after the fall, like when all of their people have like passed on, or like just crossbred with other races and whatnot.
Well yeah, I mean the Spartans, which was the episode we saw previously, plays into that as well. We got to see the rise, fall, and the rise again, so... Whilst I'm not entirely sure we'll see the rise again in this case, we'll definitely see sort of like how it all concludes. TP? TP found by Bunghole?
Yes, we have weapons. These are my ancient drumsticks. I will lay out a fat beat.
They've been enchanted with Crusaders. These guys are from like Vanilla WoW or something. They're all glowing weapon twinks, that's like their main deal. You are only level 39, but you fight at like level 60s!
Ah, this pleases me. The scarab is the symbol of Khepri, the scarab god of dawn and one of Ra's 3 forms. Typically, Khnum, the ram, is portrayed as the setting sun, while Ra himself is the noonday. The scarab being divided into 3 pieces may also be a reference to this myth. What is a samurai? We don't understand, but can we kill it?
Yeah, I don't think they'd really be that quick to understand. They'd probably have a lot of questions.
Well, maybe they just think, like, Aku is set, you know?
Maybe so. Although he wasn't doing a very good job of disguising himself as such.
He doesn't need to, he just like shouts, and people obey.
Yeah, I guess so. Although I don't think this posse of hunters are going to be quite as lenient as some of the other bounty hunters or game hunters we have seen in Samurai Jack. There's actually one episode I remember where they're being hunted, where he's being hunted mercilessly by like these world-class dudes who like hunt the biggest game and robots and what have you. And then they actually capture Jack and bring him to Akua, and then he says, no, this guy has earned his freedom. He was like a great hunt. And it's just like, no, you can't do that. And he just teleport away and release him like in the woods somewhere.
I think I actually remember that episode.
Yeah, that was another pretty good one too. They had a lot of set pieces there if I remember rightly. That one let himself go a bit compared to the others. Too many Egyptian cheeseburgers.
We don't entropy shame here, Volk. That's not fair.
Well, it just shows their diversity.
I guess so. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Oh, gee, I hope someone doesn't attack me while I'm walking down this quiet road at night.
I remember those feet.
Jack's the guy who remembers feet, apparently. I remember this place.
I also talk like this.
Yes, it's good for padding out the commentary.
It's like what they do in DESYNC just to get around the lip syncing in the Japanese version. Like, Cloud is the biggest offender. He always, like, stops mid-sentence for no reason at all.
Something will happen eventually. Samurai Jack, every night, 5 PM, Cartoon Network.
Not just on Adult Swim now.
God, you just know that contains some great evil. Jesus, fuck Aku, why can't you leave well enough alone? That was cheap, by the way.
They let the demons out, how dare they? Shit, man, he's getting clobbered.
Jesus Christ. Well, that was fun.
Oh, finally he decides, wait, I can fight back. I don't have to take this shit lying down.
Hey, they took him unawares, okay, and one dude has magical drumsticks.
Gonna play some fat beats on your ass, boy.
You know, if there's any Egyptian gods up there in the sky, and I know there are because you helped me get my sword back, now would be a good time to intervene.
Well, he doesn't know that yet, to be fair. This is pretty much the episode where he realizes that they are there and they're pretty much looking out for him.
I think this is like the appeal of like God of War or like the Assassin's Creed games, like different cultures battling each other one, or Age of Empires, I guess would be a better like comparison.
Yeah, definitely. Also, he's probably thinking to himself, wait, you can just regenerate? That's so cheap!
Okay, the fact they hopped like bunnies back there was a little bit less intimidating. Also, they have a little bit of an aardvark vibe going to them.
Little do you know that one of the guys in the costume is going, bounce, bounce,
Special guest, Jim Cummings. I don't know whether they're more intimidating with or without the fangs, honestly.
Yep, time for me to give up. Like, come on, I didn't come here expecting to be challenged.
Hide in the shadows, fall down, see a thing. This is the way to beat them. Please, gods, help me!
Summon the Dark Magician, damn it!
Oh no. Yeah, I
shouldn't have done that.
I figured they'd hear that with their very, very tiny ears.
Well, tiny ears, very sensitive, I guess.
There you go. We gotta wait for daytime.
Do you mind? I'm doing required reading.
I forget, did the Archers episode come before or after this? Let's have a look. Yeah, wow, Jack and the Blind Archers, well, the Three Blind Archers, was Season 1, Episode 7.
Oh, wow, that was very early on then. So I'm guessing these must be like the new and improved versions then.
Huh.
We decided melee combat was the way to go. Range clearly wasn't working out.
No, no. I mean, they're not blind either, so they're doubly as dangerous. That was the money shot, by the way, just in case you weren't taking notes for the test. Super strength kicking in any second now.
Hulk! Move! Pillar!
See, desecrating ancient ruins will just piss them off. I think you're about to give them a power boost.
Maybe so, but I get the feeling there may be like an upper limit, like enough dereliction, and really the effects don't really apply after that.
I think he's figured us out, lads. Let's sniff him out.
Has anybody got a glowing blue spade?
Shut up, Jerry. You should have come with your own weapon. Walk like an Egyptian.
Boogie on down, giant scarab, and the sun. I mean, there was an easier way in.
There you go. One scarab. For you.
And with it, the floppy drive containing all of the Egyptian porn you can possibly want.
Oh, I see. So you gotta find the 3 pieces of the scarab.
It's a bit like a very, very in-depth crystal maze puzzle.
Yep. I mean, there was an Aztec thing. It's not quite Egyptian, but it's close enough for stupid Western audiences.
Ain't that the truth?
No. Okay, well, you can do that, I guess. That's rude.
It's like, son of a bitch! Who told- They didn't tell me you could do that!
That just makes me want to smite Earth.
Ah, my foot!
It's the worst thing when you find a geocache location and there's like 3 remnants of ancient evil out to get it at the same time.
Although we can tell that Jack isn't exactly being overly tested because his hair hasn't gone like full freak-out mode yet. It's at the semi-freak-out stage where you can see like some of the strands sort of undoing themselves from his top knot.
It's amazing in terms of look that no one else ever came and pilfered the parts of the scarab.
True that. You think if a coup had any sense, you'd just go, maybe I should hide these somewhere else.
Maybe he just couldn't read hieroglyphics.
That is a possibility. I wouldn't put it past him.
Right, one more to go.
That odd moment of happiness when he's still being chased down by rabid Egyptian monstrosities.
Just don't look and they don't exist.
Now see, why could he have just done that the first time? Why did he have to go through the trouble of pushing him? He's doing that thing that you do when you like have a twig and you're going past like a wire fence or something. You just he just do that across the fence. You just go dangler, 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 dangler.
Yeah.
Everybody at some point has done that in their lives. If you haven't, you're lying. Not only to me, but to yourselves.
And to God, above all. Alright, the last one is there. Nice.
Son of a bitch!
Finders keepers, fuckos.
No, it's mine! No, it's mine! Hey, I found it first! But it literally belongs to us!
Yoink!
I would have kind of liked for there to be in a moment where it's sort of like when the dog gets like something he's not supposed to and you're just like there opening his mouth and just like holding it open. It's just like, get it out of there!
Alright, Cave of Wonders now, it's time for you to do your work here. Rise up, eat them.
I would laugh if it was like the Scarab in Super Smash Bros. Just picks all 3 of them up and just takes them off into space. But I get the feeling like the mood of the episode would be entirely lost. He's probably thinking, look, I don't have any more treats. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, oh I see. It's alright.
You guys are really fucked now.
It's the Juggernaut!
Arise, chicken, chicken, arise.
Like I say, just literally looks like a buff penguin.
Check out my deltoids, or my pecs, whichever, I'm not fussy.
I am much like the other gods, but unlike them, I didn't skip leg day.
Caca. Oh, jeez.
Ooh, boiled alive, that's gotta be a nasty way to go.
I thought they were getting a power up for a second, though.
He's just standing there, just like, yeah, I'm so powerful, I don't actually have to do anything.
Jesus Christ.
Now that's a Dragon Ball Z finishing moment right there.
Dude, no. Copying your brother won't work. Ah, my rock career.
We just need one to make the goofy cell face. Just like,
well, you were the smartest of the three. That's why I killed you last. And now for you, Samurai. Sorry, everyone dies when Ra gets on the field.
What? That wasn't in the contract? It's just like, yes, it was. You just didn't read the final hieroglyph.
Can you take me home? I'm tired now.
It's so ridiculous. I love how childlessly awkward Jack is talking to this guy. It's fantastic.
Nothing of the kind. I kind of like how he didn't respond. It just puts him above everything else, I guess.
Exactly. Or maybe he'll just leave a sign and say nothing else.
What a rascal. But tish. Well, gotta go find another shirt. Make these scars heal before the next episode. There you go. I'll make a new shirt out of sticks.
And the exciting adventures end with him trying to start a fire.
We have a lot of episodes to burn through, Samurai!
And you don't have enough wood to burn for that fire because I got rid of all the wood!
Oh, good stuff, good stuff. That was Season 3, Episode 5, Jack and the Scarab. What do you think of the last episode we're covering today, mate?
Pretty brutal, actually, just in terms of, like, the very start of, like, the main overarching fight. Just Jack getting pummeled the shit out of him. Or the shit pummeled out of him, should I say? I got that completely the wrong way around.
Yeah, well, I liked it. I wouldn't say it was my favourite out of the ones we watched today. That would be Jack and the Spartans, definitely. But they were all very entertaining. I know there are less than stellar Samurai Jack episodes. We haven't hit those yet. There's more good ones than average ones, I would say, in this series. So if you guys want to see any more Samurai Jack episodes, you can get free for $25. Every penny helps keep HFC going, helps us purchase games for playthroughs, pay for up costs and so on, pay the co-commentators, etc. So hey, get something you like, watch a couple of nerds, or listen to a couple of nerds talk over things you like, give opinions that you don't care about, etc., and you'll get something in return. So yeah, thank you, Rob, and we'll see you next time for another set of HFC Patreon TV comms. Bye bye.
Ta-da!